Welcome back everybody, it's DestinysJesus here. In today's video, I'm going to be showing why I think Clix and Epikwhale can win FNCS. These guys have a lot of trouble so far in the season, but based on this match history here, I think they definitely have a chance of winning despite a lot of fierce competition with other teams. So let's get straight into this with Osborne. First things first for these guys Osborne is they have regular markers for these top north buses where it's actually quicker to land just doing a regular marker. But then what they do compared to a lot of other teams is on all of these south buses and all of these buses from the west hand side, they go straight over the main building. This means that they pull their glider, and everyone else doing regular markers, even though those markers are perfect, aren't going to be as quick at landing as Epikwhale or Clix. This is the exact drop map that these guys have been using. I made it from their Fortnite tracker with the Dropmaster bot. If you guys want to get Dropmaster, it's available on my site, fortnitemasterclass.com, and it basically allows you to create any pros drop map. And if your land there opens or a solo cash cup, it works really well, and you have the best drop out of everybody, because of course it's what the pros use. Alright, so as you can see, with that timing advantage that Epic and Clix have from landing first, what they go ahead and do is instantly key over with a massive loot advantage, and also because they've just been able to open more chests, they have a mat advantage as well. Here is a really nice example of why I think these guys are very strong at fighting together. So right here you can see Clix hits Diogo 50, and instead of trying to passively box up and heal or try to win this 1v1 right here, instead he goes ahead and uses the building, blocks off his back right here, and basically just makes a beeline over to Epikwhale. So now they can approach from the exact same angle together here. They can slide a cone in, and they can both go ahead and take out this player straight away. Really simple example of just how to 2v1 properly, and they do the exact same thing with this solo right here. Instead of approaching from the same angle, Clix goes ahead and does this nice right hand peek right here, as you can see, and then Epic spraying in from the side and replacing the cone at the same time. Right here you can see another really good example of how good these guys fighting synergy is already, despite not playing with each other too much. As Epic comes in here, he gets caught out by the solo, gets hit to low HP, but what he does is very smart. Instead of just passively boxing up and healing up and then letting Clix do the 1v1 or letting the other player escape, which obviously isn't very good to do, instead he goes ahead, swaps his angle, knows Mega City really well, knows where the guy's going to come out, full boxes him, and then also blocks off his back just to make sure he doesn't get snuck up on by anybody else. You can see there's another toe sneaking in over here. While he's doing this, Clix is going ahead and approaching from the back angle, again, not approaching the same angle, but now splitting angles, and Clix gets this free shot. While he's doing this, Epic isn't overcomplicating, he's not spraying out the cone, he's not risking getting knocked, he's just passively going ahead, holding the wall to the guy stuck in the full piece, and then Clix is able to take him out since he is the healthier player. It's such an underrated skill being able to win duo fights without taking unnecessary damage or trades. Epic gets caught out once, but he doesn't take any more damage in that fight, and now these guys are insanely set up for the next part of why I think they can win FNCS, which is going to be getting the vault. Now, getting the vault and actually getting the slurps from it, of course, is a massive advantage over the rest of the lobby. There's obviously a lot of other good teams like Eomzo and Rise who are going to be able to get a vault consistently as well, but just those extra points that you get from actually grabbing the vault, plus the fact that you've got slurps that you can W key with to get your next cash as well in a second, is so crucial for success. You guys don't realize getting a vault consistently is such a massive advantage over the rest of the lobby that I think is going to really favour Epic and Clix in FNCS. And the next reason why I think these guys have a chance winning FNCS is they have a very good strategy for getting their cash every single game. What they go ahead and do is go ahead and fly from the Mega City turbine at the top right there, and that means that because they're flying to it, it's a lot faster than running speed. Even if somebody's got a slap splash on, it means they can go ahead and get there first the majority of the time. They need to get better at timing this, because in this game a team actually went ahead and rifted, and also a team can go ahead and mud over as well a little bit quicker than you if they do the slide correctly, and they're able to claim the cash first. This is where I think their strength as a duo in terms of fighting really comes into play. So you're going to see here what they go ahead and do is both approach the same box but from different angles. As you can see, they're both focusing on this box right here and trying to claim the edits on it, which is really powerful. And that's Clix to get a free shot since they weren't expecting both of them to come from different sides. And now they're very careful about when they're box fighting to go ahead and claim all of these walls. They claim this left-hand wall, which is really important in box fights, means that the other team can't go ahead and do a right-hand peek. Then they claim all of these edits around the actual cache itself. And then now you can see exactly how much their synergy has sort of developed in such a short period of time. Is right here, other team is going ahead and doing an edit where one of them is in the open and the other one's sort of behind the edit, and he's the one doing the edit. Epic is able to reset, and then right here, he does a shotgun replace, a wide edit, and then right here, Clix is directly in line, hits another crack on this player. Another team just completely disengages from this fight because they got absolutely bitched by Clix and Epikwhale. These guys, of course, have a massive advantage with ping compared to a lot of other teams, which is massive for FNCS as well. One of the biggest reasons I think Epic and Clix aren't going to be the favourites going to this FNCS, especially considering they even qual past one of the weeks so far, is the fact they're not very good at consistently making endgame stats. Compared to other teams like Rise and the Oms I've already mentioned, Edgy and Duke and Canada and Aegis, All of those teams are capable of just being stats going into endgame and they're popping off there. However, Epic and Clix have to rely on crucial refreshes, which of course they are capable of getting, but in the finals lobby it's a lot harder to get. Right there, they do a nice sneak play to take out Cold, and then right here there's a really nice bit of just box fighting. This Epic goes ahead and replaces that floor with a shotgun, and then now they're able to get a decent refresh. The one good thing about these guys is they're really capable of turning a bad situation into a good one quite quickly. As you can see here, they go ahead, get that refresh. Now they're going to completely stick on each other and basically be able to rotate completely for free, but they still need to get another refresh. So take a look at how good they are at actually finding a refresh. And what's the easiest way to find a refresh in an endgame situation like this is try to spot a solo, which is exactly what they do here. They spot Cold's Timor Acorn going ahead and rotating forward. It is a backwards ramp, and nobody in duo should ever do a backwards ramp unless they're at the back of the tarp, and clearly this guy's tarping. So they spot that it's a solo. Epic calls this, and he goes ahead, gets straight on the wall, gets into the box, takes him out, and now these guys are insanely stacked on mats and are basically set up for the rest of the game. This is where they can really excel. The one key thing though is they have to fix up those mid games and those sort of end game mistakes and become more stacked. One of the reasons why I think these guys can actually win FNCS is once they get endgame and once they get those crucial refreshes, they're really good at sticking to their playstyle, which is low ground. As you can see here, can't see zones unfortunately, but what they go ahead and do is instantly claim front side low, and then what they're going to go ahead and do is it starts pulling up this hill as they catch this really free rotate. Very crucially here is they're sticking to this left hand edge of Storm the entire time, and as it starts playing up the hill, you can see how useful this left side is they only need to block their right as they go ahead and elevate up this hill. Clix drops Epic some mats, and they go ahead and do some nice build techniques. Again, sticking to left, they keep on going to left, especially when it starts expanding over, and now as they get in towards low ground here, they're going to start looking for a potential refresh on all of these teams before we get into final moving. Because they're down on low ground on this really nice cutover zone where there's loads of solos coming into them, of course they're going to find a refresh, which is exactly what they do here. They spot a solo on their wall, take him out, and then now we're into final moving, and these guys just got their refresh. Let's take a look at how they win the game. So these guys instantly start thinking about what their win condition is going to be as they get into final moving. You guys need to get in the habit of doing this. Just start thinking about what you can actually do to win the game. As you can see here, high ground is looking pretty free, but Clix and Epic don't really have the mats to go ahead and start going up for high ground. And especially here, as you can see, it's pulling downhill, down into this sort of ravine over here, and down into this river as well. So what they go ahead and do is make the really smart call. Epic goes ahead, drops first, and he cuts off this other team that's like halfway down to low ground. He cuts them off, spams all of his mats, pressures this other team up, and then right here, despite the fact that Epic has 0 mats, Clix is the correct call. Instead of stopping and letting other teams cut them off on low, he goes ahead and drops down to low and spam builds all of his materials and basically fully claims this, and now both of them are running around on 0 mats on low ground. And all they need to go ahead and do is find some really crucial refreshes. So let's take a look at how they do it. First of all, is you can't just play an endgame out with 0 mats. They need to try to refarm something. Epic finds this rock right here to refarm, and while he's doing this, Clix is using these edits that they have control of to look for a refresh. He looks through this cone right here, spots a player with a slurp out, maxes him, takes him out, and then now they're in such a good position to go ahead and win this game, but they do not rush it. So as you can see, they go ahead and play all of their whites back in Storm for a second. They both pop their whites, and then now they're left into a situation where it comes down to a 2v2 versus this other team in a second. They keep playing their whites back in Storm. Now they go ahead and ramp up, and just from this low ground claim and the fact that they actually played whites back in Storm rather than trying to play those whites for heal up, they're left in a situation where the other players are fighting and they can push forward and actually spray. They get an opening knock, Epic closes the distance, there's a nice pump tag right there, and then Clix is left to this really free 1v1 where he just has to hit his pump, and they manage to win this game. These guys are highly capable of actually closing out games, especially from low ground. They just need to get more consistent actually getting to those points, which I'm sure they can do since they've got Blood X working with them, and hopefully be fixing all the mistakes in the upcoming weeks and in the cash cups as well.